With a business model centered around bringing children's creations to life, what could possibly go wrong? A newfound niche with art consumers, apparently. Founded in 2013, Budsies popularized what, at the time, was a unique idea in the realm of toy manufacturing. At a price that greatly undercuts freelance artists, Budsies offers the service to transform children's drawings into stuffed animals. Though initially criticized by investors for catering to a niche market, copycat companies such as Cuddle Clones, Imaginables, and Plish Plush have proved that the concept was a rather lucrative one. So, where does the art community come into this? After all, a quick glance over Budsies' catalog makes it pretty clear that they specialized in character designs that err on the side of the abstract. Children's drawings tend to be just that, an abstract representation of a child's imagination, the results of which lends itself to quite a bit of artistic interpretation. This unpolished sort of character design is so rarely seen in older artists. So why is it that more and more people, in an unintended demographic, are patronizing Budsies? Recently, Budsies has seen a surge in popularity with those involved in the original character community, particularly those with personas or otherwise furry characters. Now, this is no problem within itself, as Budsies even specifically made a separate service to handle such requests. Where the issues start is in the responses and criticisms aimed towards Budsies. A common claim seems to be that the company fails to deliver reproductions that are accurate to their source material. Often, small details are misconstrued or even completely omitted, and it's rather common for reference materials to be misinterpreted. A common mistake, yes, but with the lack of communication, it opens the opportunity for a rather costly mistake. While valid criticisms, are they justified? One needs to take into account that Budsies, while producing high-quality work, is, at its core, a company. Companies are often concerned with both profit and efficiency. Because of this, one can't expect the personalized service that comes with working with a freelance artist. Most artists that work in commission offer constant updates on their work, from initial concepts all the way to the finished product. Making a plush is a process. Conceptualizing, patterning, pairing fabric with reference colors, prototyping. A lot of customers don't realize just how much work is put into what is essentially another work of art. Now, that's not to say that Budsies doesn't do this as well, but one must realize that this is all done on a larger scale, by a larger entity that can afford to do so as efficiently and cost-effectively as possible. There's a reason smaller artists usually command a premium, as undercutting their prices just wouldn't be profitable. See, that's the big factor here. Money. The saying, you get what you pay for, does have some merit after all. While Budsies offers their 16-inch plushies at a comparatively low $150 price tag, the trade-off is service and craftsmanship that must account for both other customers and a service that initially wasn't even designed for this unintended audience. Remember, Budsies started out with simplistic, childlike designs in mind. While the company has been around for a few years and has had time to perfect their methods, their specialty ultimately lies in more abstract creations. It's a gamble to commission a company that specializes in something you're not looking for, after all. While a lot of the blame is put on the company, a lot of customers don't realize that the quality of their reference sheet can affect the final product as well. Budsies actually stresses this on their website. An unlabeled, single-view reference sheet will leave a lot more up to interpretation. Shaded artwork will likely end up producing a plush with inaccurate colors. Proportions can vary drastically from the source material in order to make the plush realistically exist in a 3D space. So, should everyone stay away from Budsies? Not necessarily. The company simply receives unwarranted criticism when it comes to the quality of their work, especially when the price is taken into account. Companies such as Cuddle Clones tend to offer more detailed products, though the price is notably steeper to account for it. Likewise, small artists at the top of their game have prices that reflect their skill. After all, plushes, like any other piece of art, are just that, luxury items, and should be treated as such. The hard truth of it is that companies like this can actually hurt freelance artists that offer similar services. To compete with large companies of this scale just plain isn't realistic. When a competitor lowers their prices to this degree, it devalues the work they do. Though this isn't Budsies' intention, it should be taken into account when thinking about a potential maker for your plush. At the end of the day, it's ultimately the customer's decision where to take their business. But with all the criticisms aimed towards Budsies, I feel it appropriate to point buyers in the direction of services that much more fit their tastes. Exploring your options when buying art in general is always a clever practice, especially given how expensive products like this tend to be. I recommend reaching out to both freelance artists and companies alike to get a feel for their process and end results. After all, Budsies seems to have responded to their critics accordingly, even going as far as to raise their prices and offer a specific commission service that caters to more complicated characters. No matter what decision you decide to make, you're sure to end up with a unique piece of art at the end of the day, right? That concludes my first video on this channel. While this topic was a bit niche, I felt that it was interesting and relevant enough to warrant a discussion. Next up, I plan on creating a video showing you how to create a reference sheet for plushies, to avoid many of the problems tackled in this video. If you have any suggestions for future topics you'd like to see me discuss, I'd love to hear them. Until then, stay sweet!